I'm so mad right now. I had to do that again. I had to do it again because I literally recorded this whole fucking review and the mic was off. I had no idea. 30 minutes of me talking and the mic was off. Now I have to do what I've always prided myself on is not having to recreate something. I like to just give you a natural reaction. Now I'm going to have to go over this whole thing all over again and hopefully give y'all the same energy that I was giving you in the first one. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to keep it back up. It's 1 o'clock right now. 1 o'clock on the dot. So please thumbs up the video. Please drop your comments down below to let me know y'all are here. Please thumbs up the video. That's number one. Please do that. Please engage with the video. Help push it out. If you are new here, please subscribe. Please share the video if you are able to do that. But yeah, we're gonna get on into it now, and yeah, let's go. All right, so we got Matt Cash. He's performing with he's got a mic with no mic. The mic doesn't even appear to be on, but he's performing. Nobody's out there. It's pointless. I'm like, why is he out here performing? But everybody ends up arriving individually. Before we get to the reunion, as you know, we have to do the pre-reunion stuff where they're sitting in the trailers and stuff. So we got Natalie, Suki, and Sapphire in a trailer, and Biggie and Smiley in a trailer. Rollie and E.T. are also in a trailer, and E.T. is claiming that House B got online talking about how they wanted to jump her. And she's like, okay, so let's see it. And she's telling Rollie that she's nervous because she's going to have to act crazy at the reunion. And she's like, you were the one that literally put out a hit low-key talking about fuck all of House B. So essentially, you're talking to all of House B, and all of House B minus Smiley gets in the field when it's time to get in the field. And they like to fight. So whenever the time comes to fight, they're going to fight. At least if it's a battle for them. But Sky, Mariah Lynn, T, and Anna, they're in a room. Anna's saying that she's going to come for E.T. and Rollie. We already knew that. I'm looking to make sure this mic is still on. But Smiley is talking about how in her confessionals, because she's in the room with Biggie, she's talking about how the confessionals hurt her feelings. And you can tell Biggie don't care. Biggie's not here for it. Biggie says that she don't like how Smiley plays the victim, making them look crazy. And Smiley claims that she don't know what the doctor had told her in Jamaica. I'm turning this fan on, y'all. But when she said that, Biggie was like, so you're a liar. And in this moment, I'm trying to figure out how I feel. I don't really know how I feel in the moment, but I'm going to elaborate on it tomorrow because Movie Bay and I are going live tomorrow, if y'all don't already know. We're going live tomorrow around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time to really discuss the reunion in full. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully have an answer there in regards to that. But we got Scotty. She's joining E.T. and Rollie. And Rollie is claiming that she got some fish to fry when she's talking about Camila and Biggie. And she's talking about how Camila needs to get some surgeries to get rid of that kangaroo pouch that she had. Pretty much saying that she needs to get some surgeries to get rid of the kangaroo pouch that she has and starts getting surgeries because Rollie's doing it like she is. I'm like, Rollie, you're fat as fuck. You're still fat. You're getting all these surgeries to still be fat. Like, yes, they tucked your tummy a little bit, but you're still fat. Camila, you can get as many surgeries as you want to. You will never be as small. You will never be as small or as skinny as Camila. Even with the kangaroo pouch, you still won't even be smaller than her. And then Camila with the kangaroo pouch, after she just came on the show, after she literally just gave birth, and knowing what I do know, doctors make it a point to let people who have just had kids know that physical activity is not necessary after a certain period of time. So considering how fast she got on the show, that explains as to why she didn't go to the gym. She didn't do all that stuff. And not only that, she's giving a lot of women hope. Like, it's not a bad thing to rush into getting your body back. And she still is not even nearly as big as you are. Like, even with that body, like her postpartum body, she still looks better than you. She still looks better than you. And the only thing that is just baby weight. Like, that's literally the baby. And the minute she gets in the gym, it's gone. And you see how she looks now. Like, Rollie, I really cannot stand her. But Mariah Lynn, she's talking about how she's an international superstar and she needs to get out of this international superstar mindset to get on the level with these bitches. And I'm like, you're not international. You're not a superstar by any means. So, like, Mariah Lynn, delusional as always. Natalie is in there with Suki and Sapphire trying to smooth over the beef between Suki and Mariah Lynn. And Suki says that people don't want to hear the truth about themselves. And if they want to be fake together with fake people. And I'm like, okay, Suki, yeah, that's true. Because I agree with that. But Suki, you really can't talk about like people being fake and being around people that keep it real. And it's just like, you are literally still friends with Sapphire. Sapphire did not do anything that you told her she needed to do to be back being friends with you, because she fought Mariah Lynn. And before she even fought Mariah Lynn, y'all was still kind of cool. Cause like on the whole like boat ride over when they was antagonizing Mariah Lynn, they was still like this. So it's like, are you really standing on anything either, Suki? Like that part was crazy to me. But Biggie is saying to Smiley that Smiley had let her down because she pretty much let her go by herself when it came to the E.T. and Rollie situation in the house. So Smiley ends up standing up and Biggie starts screaming. And she's talking about how when she smacked E.T., Smiley didn't even do shit. And apparently they had an agreement before Biggie did that she was going to go get E.T. And when she was getting E.T., Smiley was going to go get Rollie. So that's why Biggie's pissed. And Biggie's saying that she told Smiley to smack Rollie, and Smiley said, like, who are you to tell me to do that? And when she said that, Biggie slapped the absolute shit out of Smiley. She slapped the fuck out of her. And Smiley actually swung back. I was shocked. But security ends up breaking it up, and Biggie saying that she should have smacked that bitch when she told her to do so. So Camila is outside her trailer, which I'm assuming her trailer is next door to theirs because she immediately got out. She's like kind of talking over to their trailer. And security, Smiley's pretty much having a whole tantrum in there. She's throwing shit, punching mirrors and shit, like it's just stupid. But security's trying to restrain her, and she's not having it. But in the other room, Tesehki comes in with Biggie and says that Biggie ends up saying to her to bring Rollie and E.T. in there because she wants to fight them now. She don't even want to go get on the stage to do it. She wants to do it now. So she then tells Tesehki about how she had told Smiley that she was going to snatch E.T. and Smiley said that she was going to get Rollie, but she didn't even do it. So she's bringing her up to speed on that. Smiley is still in there going off. Camila's in there telling her that her hand is bleeding. She needs to chill out. And she's just continuing to throw shit. She's screaming, telling security to let her out, which I understand where she's coming from at that point because I'm very claustrophobic. I don't like being in tight spaces, especially if there's a lot of people around me. And that's essentially what they were doing. I don't feel that's where she was coming from, but if she was coming from that, I understand it. But and there's blood all over the place because she had punched a mirror, which is glass, and I'm sure they got all in her fingers, and she's bleeding. Like there's blood everywhere. So Biggie and Tesehki are talking about how Krishan had wanted $200,000 to come to the reunion for a day. And she's not appreciating what Zeus does for her. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because it is crazy how she thinks that she's supposed to get $200,000 to come to a reunion for a show that she only was on for 25% of the time. She was on the show for maybe 25% of the season. She didn't contribute to shit. So why would they pay you $200,000 to come show up to a reunion? You are not Beyonce. You can tell Krishan thinks that she is at a level that she's not. You're not at that level. Granted, a lot of people watch the show for you, but you're not that. You're not that girl. But Tesehki was like, yeah, it's crazy, but look who we're talking about. And she knows more than anybody. But Camila comes in and joins them. She fills them in on what's going on with Biggie and not with Biggie, with Smiley, about how she's over there wilding and bleeding and shit. And Camila ends up saying that she wants Rollie's big bison ass to run up so she can come out of retirement and show her what's up. And I'm like, yeah, I want to see it too. But they get the medic for Smiley. Nene and Janeisha, they're having a scene that I did not pay any attention to. Of course, I want to see what Nene has to say, but I did not care about that scene. Let's get to the reunion. So we get to it. The set is nice. I will give Zeus their props. The set was very nice. But Janeisha gets out there talking about nothing for 3 minutes, of course. She brings out Nene. And as Nene's there, they end up bringing out some of the girls, which I'm happy they did it this way because we at least got a little bit of conversation. This first part leading up to the fight actually did feel like a reunion. They did show like flashback clips of the season to talk about certain things that happened on the season, which made it seem like an actual reunion. So I'll give Zeus their props for that. But Natalie, Mariah Lynn, Scotty, and Sky, Fly Tatted Sky, they came out. So Natalie is sitting there saying that she had walked into a trailer of blood, which was Smiley's, as we know. And Natalie is telling Nene not to be alarmed and stuff, like everything will be okay. And it's like Nene said that she had watched the show, so I'm assuming that she knows what's going on. But it's funny because Nene's infamous line, at least one of her infamous lines, about that ooh child the ghetto. But she just attached herself to the most ghetto show probably in history of TV. But she's still associated with this ghetto shit. Like Movie Base sent me a clip of her out with these people at the Super Bowl today. But yeah, so Janeisha then says that House A, some of House A is out there, and Sky lets it be known she's from House B. Nobody said anything to challenge it. Tesehki, Biggie, Ahna, Camila, and T come out. Sky's out there hyping them up. They're lit. They're excited. Janeisha then asked Natalie how she felt the season was compared to the other seasons, since Natalie was on every other season as well. And she says this is a loud group of girls. Biggie ends up shouting out that she's the MVP, which is the most valuable baddie. Everybody agreed. I agree as well. Yeah, I agree as well because I feel like out of everybody this season, Biggie came back, stood on business. When it came to the situations that she did have, she did voice her opinion. She did say what she needed to say. She did fight when she felt like she needed to fight. So yeah, I'll give her that. I was gonna say Tesehki, but Tesehki, strictly off them fights, is the most valuable baddie. But I feel like as a more well-rounded baddie, I would say Biggie because Tesehki had moments where she could have actually used her voice to stand up for what was right, and she didn't do that. So I guess yeah, Biggie. But they ended up playing the montage, the super trailer montage for the recap of the season, and Janeisha ends up saying that she don't know how. She just really don't know how to get into the real shit. Like she likes to ask these stupid questions that nobody wants to hear you ask. She doesn't ask the questions that people need answers to. The fans want to hear why these girls got on the show and bullied these girls. Why these girls think that they were better than the rest of these other girls. And when I'm saying these girls, I'm talking about House A. Put these girls' feet to the fire, have them answer questions, and speak about why they did what they did. See if they actually will take accountability for the shit that they did. Put them and then make them do it. Essentially, like talk to them, let them know how they looked, let them know how they are. And maybe these girls will change. But if you get on a show and have a reunion and you don't address the shit that needs to be addressed, every time they come back, they're going to continue to do the same thing. And then the show is going to continue to go to shit. And then the fans are no longer going to want to watch it. But that's why I don't like Janeisha, and that's why I don't want her to be on the show as a reunion host. But they ended up bringing up Scotty and Ahna. They showed a replay of Ahna clocking the shit out of her. Ahna says that she don't know what the issue was. Scotty said that before you came into the house, you said you wanted to fight. And Ahna said, yeah, I did say it, but I said it to your face. And I 100% believe that she did. But Scotty then says that Ahna comes off disrespectful and she doesn't like the disrespect. Scotty got this retainer in her mouth. And I made a point to mention that because her, Rollie, and E.T., specifically those three, talked about how everybody was so jealous of them this season and pretty much trying to make other people out to be insecure. But these three girls are the three girls that got the brunt of social media and even their own cast members talking about how their teeth look. How Scotty got called Miss Gap. Now she's in there with the retainer trying to fix the gap, which essentially the gap is not the issue. It's the bottom row of teeth that look like a jagged road. Like them things need to be straightened together. So she got the retainer in. E.T. got her teeth fixed. As we know, she needed them teeth fixed, the chip tooth. She got her body done. Nothing was wrong with her body if you ask me. But the teeth definitely needed to be fixed. And they did get fixed. Why? Because the fans had literally talked shit about her teeth all season. And Rollie with the spaces and just how dirty she looks anyways, and the teeth look dirty. So of course she went and got veneers as well. And then she's trying to get her body done. How she swear up and down somebody's supposed to be jealous of her and how she's this big bad bitch. But you out here trying to look like the girls that you claiming are jealous and insecure of you. Like it just don't make sense. But Ahna then says that these bitches keep playing with her name. And she says she just wants to know what the reason is. And Scotty keeps saying, because you're disrespectful. And Ahna says that NC North Carolina bitches, talking about Scotty, because she's from Raleigh, North Carolina, saying that bitches from North Carolina and South Carolina are country as fuck. And I'm like, don't do that. Because I'm from North Carolina, and a lot of us out here don't act like Scotty. Scotty is not a representation of North Carolina, period. She don't act like we do. The majority of this city, at least the people I know, don't act that way. They don't. We stand on business. We don't act like her. But Nene says it don't even sound like it's a real beef. I agree. Anna says that they went 5 rounds and Scotty still couldn't beat her. That is a fact. But Janeisha then brings up what Anna had said about Krishan, pretty much stating that Krishan looked like she was slow in that video. And they ended up showing the video. And she does. She looks slow. Like, she looks stupid. And we know Krishan is slow considering how stupid she is. And the most stupid thing that she recently just did about getting a tattoo of Blueface, his face tattooed on her face after she just covered up the neck tattoo, which it makes no sense as to why you would cover that up and then put that on your face. Like, slow. As we know, her elevator does not go all the way up to the top floor. So the comment was valid, but Nene then asked Tesehki how she felt about it. And she said when she got around them, she realized, like, it's not worth it for me to put hands on these girls because that's what Krishan wanted. And she said, I'm not doing it over some petty shit like that. Like somebody saying you slow, ooh, whoopty woo. And it's like, it's true. And it's like her knowing how she fights, it's pointless. And we know how she fights. Like Tesehki, them hands, when I tell you them hands need to be registered, she needs to go get in some gloves. She could have a freaking glowing career as a boxer. But I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more later on. But Tesehki was saying how if Krishan didn't come to the reunion and apologize publicly, she was getting evicted. And Tesehki said that the agreement that they had coming into the house, because Janeisha had asked her, like, I'm assuming that y'all had agreed that anytime Krishan had an issue, you was going to fight her battles. And she's like, nah, the agreement was if anybody put their hands on you, then I was going to fight because nobody was going to touch you, which makes sense. She said she wasn't just going to be fighting Krishan's battles because of petty shit. It had to make sense for her to actually touch somebody because she knows how she gives it up. And I'm like, you're right. Like, I wouldn't be fighting anybody just for no reason. Like, you're going to have to give me a reason, and it has to be a valid one for me to put my hands on you. The only way that I'm going to fight you back without a necessary reason is if you put your hands on me first. But that's pretty much where Tesehki's coming from. And she's like, I already know how my hands are. And then she starts talking about how Krishan had been reaching out to her family, trying to resolve the situation with them. And she's like, I know that she misses me because I'm a lovable person. Of course, people would miss me. And she said that she feels like the reaching out was genuine, but she also knows that Tesehki would beat the shit out of her. And we know that. And like I said at the beginning of the season, you watched that one episode that they had on Krishan and Blueface's show, and that's the only episode I did watch of their show. I knew then, and I said it then, that Krishan was scared of Tesehki. And I know it because the way she was literally pressing her in that, Krishan didn't give her none of the energy that she would have given anybody else that would have pressed her like that. And I know that because she taught Krishan how to fight. And I know that their older sister probably taught Tesehki how to fight, which I'm very intrigued to see how she fights. But she's scared of her. And I know she's scared of her because of the way Tesehki fights. And if Tesehki and Krishan actually fought, Krishan would get her ass beat. But I'm going to get to it later on. But Nene then also asked about Janet and Marsh, and she said that they're dead to her. Janeisha then asked if she felt like she did her big one. And she said, I felt like it was okay. Like, she said she was genuinely trying to teach them how to fight. And she said, like, how are you going to try and jump me, but you can't even put your guards up? And I'm like, you're right. Because, like, when you sit and think, like, real boxers, I watch, like, real fights. I'm a big fan of boxing. I've watched boxing for many years. Any fight that is on that is actually a really good card, I'm watching it. I will pay $80 to watch a pay-per-view. So I know good fighting when I see it. And like what she said, straight off your set, the way your guard is up, I know how you can fight. If you fighting like this and this is your guard, what are you blocking? Your chest? You're supposed to be blocking your face. And when you punch, you keep that one right here while you're throwing this one and then throw that one. Your guard is up. You're blocking your face. You're trying your best to protect your face, essentially. But we'll get to it later. I'm going to elaborate later. But she was saying, like, that's how she knew, like, she couldn't fight because your guard's, like, look at how your guard is. Look at how your set is. So they replayed the jumping montage, and Tesehki gets emotional because she said that Krishan was her best friend. That's her little sister. And she's like, at this point, like, I don't want nothing to do with her because if you can do some dog ass shit like that, like, and literally snake me and get me set up to get jumped, and I'm your sister, I'm like your blood. I'm your big sister. You're my little sister. And you set these bitches up, or you set me up to get jumped by these bitches. You want these bitches to hurt me. So at this point, I can't trust you no more. And I don't blame her for that. I wouldn't trust her either. But they showed a recap of Mariah Lynn jumping in, and Mariah says that they knew each other prior to the show. So she pretty much said, like, nobody was going to jump her. She wasn't going to allow anybody to jump her. So when she saw Janet, she was like, square up. So I'm like, at this point, I agree where you're coming from with not allowing her to get jumped. But in this situation, Janet was not about to jump her, and Marsh was not about to jump her because it was some one-on-one situations. Marsh and Tesehki had their one-on-one. Janet and Tesehki were about to have their one-on-one, but you jumped in, which made me mad because I wanted to see Janet get her ass beat like Marsh did. And we didn't get to see it because the minute you jumped in, security jumped in. And Tesehki couldn't even get her hands in on her. So that made me mad, but whatever. They replay Camila versus Natalie. They talk about how the fans pretty much blew their beef up, how they hug it out and everything, about how they got a sisterhood and whatever. So they get up and they hug each other and stuff. Natalie looks like she's trying to get emotional, but they did that beef, so it's cool. They then talked to T about her experience and her experience with Scotty. She said that she thought they were going to be cool, but she realized it was a part of the storyline, so she realized they weren't going to be cool. So they start running the clip back of them getting into it at the house, the Miss Gap scene, which was hilarious, the yuck mouth, all of that funny. So they get into it and whatever. Nene then introduces E.T. and Rollie. This is where we go. I'm like, showtime. We finally here. This is where it's about to go down. So Camila and Tesehki, they immediately get up. They ready for whatever. So Rollie comes out talking about somebody got stank pussy. And I'm like, out of the audacity of you, of all people, to be talking about somebody got stank pussy. We know that you stank. We know that your shit stank. We don't even have to get up on you to smell it to know that your shit stank. Like, you can't be talking. Shut up. But she starts talking, and as she's doing that, E.T. is like struggling walking in with them heels. Them little heels that she had on, she was struggling. Them knees was bent. But she started kicking them off and starts sprinting to Natalie. And she goes straight to Natalie. Natalie starts kicking, and she gets knocked out of that chair, and her wig goes flying as well. But as she's doing that, Tesehki's running over there. Scotty's running over there for what? I don't know. Like, Natalie, let Natalie fight her own battle, because Natalie's not going to jump in when you're getting jumped. I guarantee you that. But that happens, and as that's happening, Rollie and Biggie have the most weak fight ever. Rollie is swinging and missing, but she's got her hands like this, and this is how she's fighting. She's swinging down like this. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't fight. Rollie cannot fight. When I tell you she can't fight, I know for a fact she can't fight. When you fight, your fist needs to be balled this way, and you need to be punching forward. These knuckles need to be hitting your opponent, not your open palm. Like, your palm right here hitting. Nobody's going to feel that. Nobody's going to be hurt. Like, you're not going to hurt your opponent doing it. You need to fight with your knuckles. She can't fight. But Biggie also can't fight, because Biggie is still swinging, running up, swinging with her head down. But she's running away from Rollie as Rollie's trying to swing, love tapping on her. So essentially, she looks like she's getting the best of her because she's getting more hits in on her than Biggie is on Rollie. But as that happens, Tesehki is over there checking Rollie too after the fact, and I'm assuming because of her fighting with Biggie. But Rollie didn't have that energy with Tesehki because she knows better. Rollie is a punk. She picks and chooses the battle. She knows who to fight. She knows who to pick a fight with, because she would have easily got it up with anybody else that would have checked her like Tesehki was. But that's interesting there. But Biggie and Rollie go another round. Both ain't doing nothing. Ahna and Rollie end up getting into it. Neither was doing anything, which was actually quite disappointing, because if you haven't already watched, but if you were watching on the live when we did the breakdown of the trailer, it looked like Ahna was doing more than what she was, which was disappointing. But Biggie ends up running around saying, "Let me see you run, Rollie. Let me see you run." That was funny as hell to me, because I was like, I've said it too. I said, if you really want to get her, have her running laps around that reunion and then try and really get her, because you're going to be able to get her because you're going to be tired. But the main event, and I've been talking super fast because I literally just did a 31-minute review of this. And y'all will never see it because the audio's not there. I was so entertained while I was doing it. But Tesehki and E.T., they get into it. And this is E.T. doing as she always does. Like I told y'all, she's a street fighter. She thinks all you got to do is swing. If you're swinging, you're connecting something. You're going to get something connected. When you're fighting somebody like Tesehki, it's not going to work. If you're fighting somebody that can't fight, maybe it's going to work. But you're fighting somebody who is I swear she is a trained boxer. When I'm gonna say this right now, she is without a doubt, hands down, the best fighter, male or female, that I've ever seen on reality TV. She literally fights like a trained boxer. Her guard, the way she throws the right and left, how she waits, how she steps back when she needs to step back to dodge a hit, how she moves to the side. A lot of these bitches that get on the show, a lot of these niggas that get on these shows, they don't know how to do that. They get in, start pulling on something, trying to pull on something, trying to swing like chaotically, just swinging just to swing. She fights like how I would fight, like how I have fought. The little fights that I've been in, I'm not just in there just throwing just to throw. I'm throwing when I see an open look. That's what she was doing. And when she got the box in her face in, because ET was swinging, she was just swinging, windmilling. Like you can tell she was just swinging for her life. Because that first hit, that first punch that Tesehki threw was at left. And it hit ET to where her head went back. I don't know if y'all saw it, but go rewatch it. That head went back, and that's what led her to start swinging immediately. Then Tesehki, I counted maybe 6, 7 landed shots. And out of the 7 or 6, 4 of them hoes was straight combos, face shots. Every one of her shots, actually every single one of her punches that she threw were face shots. And she straight, pop, pop, pop. And when I tell you the way she threw it, like if you know good boxing, I'm giving y'all breakdowns of my knowledge from boxing. A good coach is going to teach you how to throw a good punch that's effective. If you want to throw a punch that's going to really, really knock your opponent out, you got to step into that punch and you got to throw it off your arm, throw it off your shoulder. Tesehki was doing that with both the right and the left. And that's why when she was throwing it, you could feel it through the TV how hard she was hitting her. And she was doing it fast too. I saw a couple reviews maybe a couple months ago now. People trying to say she's too slow, saying that ET is super fast and Tesehki is slow, which is why she might lose. What? ET is fast because all she does is this. Tesehki knows when to throw what. She looks at her opponent. Her head is up. She's not scared to get hit. She literally boxed. When I tell you she boxed her face in like I've never seen it before, I want Tesehki to literally go. She don't even have to really do much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that watch boxing and are trainers of boxers have seen her fight. I want her to go get a contract and go get in the ring and actually she could make so much money off them hands alone, and she's good at it. Why not go make some money off of it? Some real money. Like she could make some real money off them hands. But she threw her to the ground too. She was beating her so hard, she threw her to the ground, and that's where it ended. We know they got multiple rounds, which is crazy considering how crazy this first round was. But that was the end. That was the first reunion. I'll give it an A- because there was a lot of positive in terms of the setup, the flow of the reunion. It wasn't bad. But yeah, that was my review, y'all. Please thumbs up the video because I did it again, all over again. But please thumbs up the video. Please drop your comments down below. Please subscribe if you are new here. Please do that. Please interact with the video. Thumbs up, drop your comments, subscribe, share the video. I will be here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, with my YouTube best friend, Movie Bay. We will be recapping this more in full, like debunking it a little bit better with a little bit more interactions with y'all as well that watch. But yeah, I will see y'all then if you check it out. And turn the post notifications on too, because you'll be able to see it and be alerted when we go live. So you'll be in there immediately. But yeah, I'll see y'all then. Peace.